Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Surface drones attacked the main base of the Russian Federation Black Sea Fleet Sevastopol Bay in the occupied Crimea, which is the main base of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, was attacked by surface drones and unmanned aerial vehicles. This is reported by Russian propaganda. Early on October 29, local residents of the Russian-occupied city of Sevastopol woke up to the sounds of explosions and gunfire that the whole city heard. These sounds came from the side of the bay. Initially, the so-called governor of Sevastopol, occupied by Russians, Mikhail Razvozhayev, said that the vessels of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian Federation repelled the attack of the UAV in the waters of Sevastopol Bay, and that no facilities were allegedly hit in the city. He also urged the citizens to remain calm. Because of these events, they temporarily blocked the anchorage in Sevastopol. There are no ferries and boats. Traffic between the districts of the temporarily occupied city is possible only by buses. Subsequently, videos began to appear in social media, showcasing that Russian military targets were attacked not only by unmanned aerial vehicles. Several videos clearly showed that the main base of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian Federation was attacked by surface drones. In one of the published videos, a surface drone explodes. This happens on the approach to the Sevastopol Bay. It was probably attacked by a Russian helicopter. Another video, which was shot by one of the eyewitnesses to the incident, recorded the moment of the explosion near the shore. On the CCTV was the moment of a powerful explosion that occurred in the bay where the Russian warships are based. According to the Russian Telegram channel, which tracks marine topics, as a result of the drone attack, the Minesweeper and the Admiral Makarov missile frigate, which is actually the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, were damaged. According to Russian information, the military facilities of the invaders were attacked by 8 UAVs and 6 unmanned surface boats. The Russians say all drones have been defused. Invaders hit critical infrastructure in Zaporizhia, consequences being specified. Regional administration head Russian invaders attacked critical infrastructure facilities in Zaporizhia on Saturday, head of the regional military administration Alexander Starik said. After a short break, the enemy shelled Zaporizhia again, hitting critical infrastructure facilities. The consequences of the terrorist attack are being specified, he wrote on his How is Russia Faring Against NATO Equipment in Ukraine? A tally. The 2022 Russo-Ukrainian War has laid bare the issues affecting the Russian armed forces in the farce that was Russia's military buildup of the 2010s after a lengthy period of decay throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. Having lost the initiative across the whole front line and so far unable to change the tide, Russia's only remaining hope at stabilizing the front are the country's mobilization and the potential mass use of Iranian loitering munitions and ballistic missiles to force Ukraine to the negotiation table at terms favorable to Russia. Whatever their eventual effects on the course of the war, there can be no doubt the Russian leadership completely overestimated its own capabilities while at the same time severely underestimating the Ukrainians' resolve in defending their country. After a steady supply of nearly every type of armament from Western countries imaginable, and with plenty of combat experience to properly deploy these new weapons systems on the battlefield, the Ukrainian army is arguably at its strongest point since the 24th of February. In contrast, the Russian army has lost its morale and image of strength in Ukraine. In an effort to assure its domestic audience of its capabilities, the Russian MOD has had to resort to gross exaggerations and outright lies to brush up its combat performance in Ukraine. Examples are the reported destruction and capture of 20 HIMARS out of 16 HIMARS delivered, at the time of the claim, to Ukraine, and the shootdown of 1,000 Bayraktar TB2s out of some 50 terabytes 2s delivered to Ukraine, with Baker Tech only ever having produced 450 terabytes 2s. With Russia meanwhile outgunned and outranged on most fronts, the biggest threat to the operations of Ukrainian HIMARS, M270 and Western donated tube artillery does not appear to be the destruction by Russian counter-battery fire or loitering munitions, but rather a lack of ammunition and barrel wear as a result of continued operations. Only a dozen out of the approximately 160,155 mm M777 towed howitzers delivered to Ukraine are visually confirmed to have been destroyed. 3. And despite claiming the destruction of 20 HIMARS launchers, Russia has brought forward no evidence that supports the destruction of even a single HIMARS. The only units that have in fact been suffering losses at the hands of Russian military forces are Ukraine's mechanized units, which have been the recipient mainly of ex-Soviet tanks and Western APCs and are currently leading the charge in Kherson. This article attempts to list visually confirmed losses of heavy equipment of Western origin and the total amount of Western armament delivered in that specific category. This list only includes destroyed vehicles and equipment of which photo or videographic evidence is available. Therefore, the amount of equipment destroyed is higher than recorded here. Damaged equipment, ATGMs, manpads and trucks are not included in this list. This list only includes equipment that was delivered after the 24th of February 2022. Details unique to nations' vehicle types, camouflage patterns and serial numbers are used to discern between equipment delivered before and after the 24th. The entries below are sorted by armament category, with a flag denoting the country that delivered it. These statistics are constantly updated as additional losses are uncovered. Ukraine Foreign Minister tells Iran counterpart, "Stop sending arms to Russia." Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said he had received a phone call from his Iranian counterpart Hossein Amirabdollahian on Friday and that he had demanded that Tehran stop sending weapons to Russia. Ukraine and its Western allies have accused Iran of sending kamikaze drones to Russia, which have then been used to devastating effect by Russian forces in strikes targeting Ukrainian infrastructure. Iran denies the charge. "I demanded Iran to immediately cease the flow of weapons to Russia used to kill civilians and destroy critical infrastructure in Ukraine," Kuleba said in a tweet. Zelensky to students of Yale University, "It is in Ukraine that global fate of democracy will be determined." President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky, in his address to students and professors of Yale University, emphasized that it is in Ukraine that the global fate of democracy is being determined. "It is important for the whole world that Russia loses now, in the war in Ukraine. When we win for ourselves, we will win for other nations whose freedom is potentially under attack. The ambitions of the Russian throne are known," Zelensky said. "On behalf of the Ukrainian people, I want to thank your people for the support you provide to our defense. Thank you to your leaders, President Biden, both chambers and parties of Congress, public figures and businesses who feel how important it is for Ukrainian democracy to endure," he said. The president said he is sure Russia has no chance of winning this war and destroying Ukrainians and any other nation of the world. Right now, and precisely in Ukraine, it is being decided whether our part of the world will be free and democratic. Ultimately, this is how the global fate of democracy will be determined. This fate should be determined by you and us, the free world, not Russia and its accomplices. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.